Delhi's Lieutenant Governor Vinai Saxena has ordered the transfer of 12 IAS officers following the raids on Delhi's Deputy Chief Minister Manish Sisodia over allegations of corruption in Delhi's liquor policy. This reshuffle coming hours after Manish Sisodia was raided by the CBI and also named as the first accused in an FIR that also mentions 14 other names in connection with the liquor policy violations. Sisodia has said his computer phone was seized during those 14-hour CBI raids, and speaking to reporters late last night, he denied any wrongdoing and also said the BJP was misusing central agencies, but that the Delhi government's good work would continue.
पूरे घर की तलाशी ली, मेरा जो कंप्यूटर है वो भी सीज करके ले गए, मेरा फोन जो था पर्सनल वो भी सीज करके ले गए हैं। हमने हमारी फैमिली ने पूरा सहयोग दिया जांच में, और आगे भी जो जांच होगी इस पूरे मामले में हम पूरा सहयोग देंगे। हमने कुछ गलत नहीं किया, हमने कहीं कोई भ्रष्टाचार नहीं किया, इसलिए हम डरते भी नहीं हैं। हम जानते हैं कि सीबीआई का दुरुपयोग किया जा रहा है, सीबीआई को ऊपर से यूज किया जा रहा है, ऊपर से कंट्रोल किया जा रहा है। सब लोग जानते हैं कि किस तरह से सीबीआई को ऊपर से कंट्रोल करके दिल्ली सरकार के अच्छे काम रोकने की कोशिश की जा रही है। हम लोग ईमानदार लोग हैं, कट्टर ईमानदार लोग हैं, ईमानदारी से काम करते आए हैं। पिछले 7-8 साल से जब से राजनीति में आए, ईमानदारी की राजनीति करते आए हैं। हमने कहीं कुछ गलत नहीं किया और आगे भी करते रहेंगे। हमने बहुत ईमानदारी से काम करते हुए दिल्ली में स्कूल बनवाए हैं और लाखों बच्चों का भविष्य संवारा है। हमने ईमानदारी से काम करते हुए अस्पताल बनवाए हैं, लाखों लोगों को इलाज मिला है, लाखों लोगों की दुआएं हैं, लाखों बच्चों की, उनके पेरेंट्स की दुआएं हैं। हम उनके लिए काम करते रहेंगे। केंद्र सरकार जितना दुरुपयोग करना चाहे सीबीआई का कर ले, क्योंकि हमने कुछ गलत नहीं किया, इसलिए हमारा कुछ नहीं बिगाड़ सकते। ये लाख रोकने की कोशिश करें, लेकिन स्कूल अस्पताल का काम, लोगों को अच्छी शिक्षा देने का काम, अच्छा इलाज देने का काम दिल्ली सरकार रोकेगी नहीं।
Let's take this right across to panelists joining us at this point. Ravi Srivastava, who supports the Aam Aadmi Party, Alok Vats of the BJP is with us. Ravi Srivastava, to you first. The latest action now by Delhi's Lieutenant Governor, who's transferred 12 IAS officers shortly after those raids on Manish Sisodia. Clearly, battle lines firmly drawn at this point?
Ankita, I think battle lines are drawn not from today. It has been drawn for last 7-8 years since the Aam Aadmi Party came to power in Delhi. And there have been more than 10 incidents you can recall on various issues that there were conflicts between the ruling Lieutenant Governor by the center and the Aam Aadmi Party. As far as this transfers of the IAS officers is concerned, it's a prerogative of the Lieutenant Governor, and he can do it. They can always reshuffle the people, they can get the new people. But as far as this case is concerned, I have a few questions on this. One is that who made these charges? Has the CBI issued any charge sheet? Has the CBI given any public statement? Have they done any press conference? The charges like 144 crore, 30 crore, licensing, wrong people got it, the discount on the beer case and all those things, they're all in the realm of the speculation. What you have got on hand yesterday, a piece of paper which mentions the name of the 3 people, some Dinesh Arora, some Aman or Amrit Arora, and some Arjun Pandey, and some kind of a 1 crore, 2 crore transactions between those people. Even the charge sheet, which has got, of course, the number 1 name as a Mr. Manish Sisodia only, but there are only 2 other public servants. Rest are all private manufacturers and distributors of the liquor. So, what I want to say is that against Aam Aadmi Party, this government has made ample of cases, more than 100 plus, but they could not substantiate even one.
Okay,
I think
fair enough. I think let's restrict our ambit to these raids and these raids alone. And Alok Vats, there are questions that already come to mind. For instance, the fact that, sources within the CBI disclosed yesterday that there were no recoveries from Manish Sisodia's home. Some files, confidential, quote-unquote confidential files, may have been found at the residence of one of the excise officials who were also probed in this connection. But that seems to effectively bear out what the AAP has been saying in multiple press conferences through the day yesterday. They said, all you'll find in Manish Sisodia's house is pencil boxes and geometry boxes. So, Alok Vats, do you believe that given this sort of media blitz we've had from both the BJP and the AAP trying to control the narrative, so far AAP has had the upper hand?
Well, first of all, let me tell you, Ankita, that the raids were conducted at 21 places, including Mr. Sisodia's house. So what the CBI has on record said that they have seized indiscriminating documents and some data from the computers. So let all that be investigated, and if Mr. Sisodia has not done anything wrong, he will come out clean. But the Chief Secretary made the charges that due to Mr. Sisodia's granting licenses and, waiving of fees and, also giving L1, L7 licenses without the permission of LG and also not discussed in the cabinet, there has been wrongdoing. By which
Mr. Vats, allow me to interrupt you there for a moment. I think the question a lot of people will now want to ask is, you say let him come out clean, then he has nothing to worry about. But there seem to be so many instances now of people who are being probed and who do come out clean in the end. And that only seems to bolster the opposition's allegation that, there are raids being carried out with some other aim in mind.
No. I don't agree with that. Prima facie, the LG has recommended the CBI probe. And he has done so on the Chief Secretary's recommendation that there have been lapses in the excise policy. And, not only once, he has waived off 144.36 crores of the liquor cartel. Thereafter, the airport authority who didn't get the NOC, he removed the levy of import pass fees at the rate of 50 rupees per case. This was also not...
All right, Mr. Vats, without going into the absolute nitty-gritty of these charges and allegations, certainly even the Aam Aadmi Party seems to have conceded somewhere along the line that there were irregularities. The very fact that they scrapped the old policy and announced a new policy seems to be an admission of the fact, Ravi Srivastava, I want you to come in on this, that, things didn't go as planned. So would you say then, in that press conference that Manish Sisodia had earlier in August, on the 6th of August, if I'm not mistaken, where he said the existing liquor policy would be rescinded. Now, the AAP has tried to spin it as, instructions from the LG, which they had problems with. But at the end of the day, does the AAP concede that there was a problem?
Ankita, it's a matter of probe. Aam Aadmi Party has welcomed the probe and they are always cooperating with that. They have never resisted it. The fact is that I have lived in Delhi for more than 3 decades. I have seen the way the liquor dispensation takes place there, in the caged corners and the people falling one over each other, the law and order situation, the liquor sold in black, the timings are extended, all those things, all problems were there. Now I see the city in like Bengaluru, in Karnataka, swanky shops there, women going there, buying it, tasting it freely, and beautiful shops. I think this is what AAP had tried for. The policy was not wrong. The fact is that AAP never wanted a situation like Gujarat, where 10,000 crores worth of illicit liquor is being traded, a state having a prohibition. They never wanted a situation like UP, where hundreds of people have died because of consuming the illicit liquor. So that is what AAP wanted to avoid it. There is nothing basically fundamentally wrong with the policy. It has been temporarily suspended. It can be reviewed. But yes, I agree with your point that there could be some irregularities which should be probed, and which, if somebody has been found guilty, he should be convicted for that.
All right, fair enough. I want to now talk about another issue which really dominated the headlines yesterday, Alok Vats, and has the BJP scored a bit of an own goal by trying to suggest that the Aam Aadmi Party paid the New York Times for its work in Delhi's government schools to be highlighted, that, the same article appeared in Khaleej Times and New York Times. I mean, all of those, it's really embarrassing. Now, the New York Times has also issued a clarification saying this was an independently researched article, that education is a subject on which they've written many articles over the years, and for anyone to suggest otherwise is just a complete and patent falsehood. So, will the BJP now, take back what it said?
Obviously, if they have clarified, then I think this issue should be put to rest. We had a fear that it might be a paid advertisement, but since they have clarified, so there is nothing to talk about it now. It was
a serious allegation to make, Mr. Vats, and members of your party, including Parvesh Verma and others, did just that. So, will there be any kind of apology issued? Will there be any kind of taking back of that statement?
Why should there be an apology issued on this issue? We had a fear, we made an allegation. It has been clarified, so it's okay. Let it be put to rest.
Okay, it's been put to rest, says Alok Vats. Ravi Srivastava obviously differs. Quick last comments.
Yeah, thank you very much. First of all, I must admire Mr. Alok Vats for his positive comment that he has realized that his party and his spokesperson did a grave mistake by questioning the credibility of a newspaper like New York Times and Khaleej Times. I think they have understood that they really erred over there, and they must come out with a national apology and say to the nation that yes, they did something wrong. And lot of malicious comments were made yesterday that AAP paid money for that, it was a paid article, etc., etc. I think let us not go to the extent of maligning the global and international media who are really credible and do their job properly.
All right, we leave it at that. Ravi Srivastava, Alok Vats, thank you for joining us.